spaces. I'm alive on three surfaces. But I was staring at the computer and I'm all just ooh, liquid in the eyes. Oh, okay. So today is Valentine's Day, and Nirbeeja yoga is also a product of love. Yeah. Okay, so I just close it up. Now, today, warmth, softness, relaxation, and just being comfortable with this one human body we have from which to appreciate life, technology, changes, light, chocolates, air, and all those very, very, very beautiful things. Yeah, to appreciate life, we have the same human body. Yeah, and if you're not having our first relationship with our own body, we don't know to be in relationship with anything. Okay, and that includes the phone you may hold, um, use and throw attitudes maybe, also the clothes you wear, the choices you make, color choices of clothes you wear, or the brush you choose, or uh, anything. It's called also the axiom of choice. What you choose based on your quality of relationship, yeah, versus for the purpose or for the utility of it, changes what all becomes possible through what you choose. If you're only going to go by, I'm going to choose that vessel to make coffee or tea, versus I love that vessel. Yeah, don't know what else it's going to be used for. It could be used for so many purposes. In which case, you have a kitchen full of things. You can't say a museum piece. It's just that they're collectible. Just okay. Egyptian mummy. You know, when you're holding things which you're going to use not just for this time, but you're going to use for like many ways, many formats. So you're living a 6 foot house space, okay, okay, a tomb space or a room. Room is also a tomb, yeah, from Egyptian mummy. So they also call it as for the afterlife. So one room space is enough from which to live your life. And how you live can also depend on what you put inside the room. You're going to use it for or to make that cup of tea or coffee. You're going to use a vessel. Then you would need a lot of things. Versus you're going to use this, and it has so many other purposes depending on the occasion. You would not need many things. That's also how you have best use of available resources. Yeah, minimalism with a difference. Yeah. Also, um, least effort, maximum results. Certain simple things, just simple things. Yeah. One human body. So many areas of life. Juggle, juggle, juggle versus one life and everything gets managed. Just a few simple things, which is what movementless yoga makes available. Yeah. It's like one thing, multiple purpose. Yeah. It is. Hmm, I kind of want. Yeah. What could this one life, what is it human that could be, what it could come to? While I'm talking, I could be metabolizing information. I have information showing up. And then when Ajine Bhojanam Visham, when you completely metabolize, for example, I have information coming through the screen, Moj app here, Zoom and X app here. So two sources of light, plus a source of light, tube light, plus the day is just beginning, so sunlight. So different kinds of light. Okay, different kinds of light affecting the same human body. So different forms of information, and this is just light. Over and above this, there is sounds, move. movements, different kinds of people. Yeah, everybody contributing in their own ways. So change is a constant. As the day dawns from morning to afternoon to evening, change is all happening. We're going to be saying, oh, this changed, and that's changed, and that's changed. There's going to be a lot of anxiety moments. Versus, you just a moment, let's hear go. Yeah, you have all of these senses: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling, knowing. There are others too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And interoception, extroception, intention, extension. We have many, yeah, many things. There's also called the clairescence, clairsentience, and what have you. We can, at least let's just say, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling, knowing, and then clair version. So there is the actual organs, and then there's software. There's soft versions. That itself forms 12. Yeah. So you want more, we can talk about it. But we already have so many things. One of the reasons why we juggle with many things is how to all keep it together. It's like encryption. Lots of information. When you encrypt it, it is in small little spaces like nanotechnology. In a computer, the chip can hold so much information. Shri Chakra, for example, is an example of a plate that holds a lot of information. Yeah, like ancients developed this chip. Yeah, like computer chip, but it's just a different chip. It holds information, different kinds. And what all information it can hold depends on what have you discerned what it can hold. What is it made for? Or yeah, ooh, it's quite a thing. You know, yeah. You can use it by Vastu Shastra and keep it in a place that also is holding certain information energy. Versus you can live your life by what this frame of reference can hold. Yeah. And the what that frame of reference can hold is also a representation, is also a kind of physical representation, kind of the human body we have. So guess which is a supercomputer, or it's just a or simple, yeah? You're thinking about so many complex, but the simple is not so seen. I discovered the human body is the least studied after so many years of civilization, technology studies, different fields of medicine and inquiring into health and wealth and wisdom and what have you, space science and earth and just different kinds of studies from across how many times people are still digging out civilizations, yeah, information of past civilization. They too are studying the same human body, yeah, and we are interpreting what they studied. They discovered a jug, yeah, with made of a certain kind of a ceramic or a certain particular kind of a color. How did that color form? Again, some human found something, put it in a particular composition, and then studying it, and then they have a jug. And what is this jug doing in the whole scheme of things? Because they found it now, it was not found before. Why is it found now? Like people looking through, um, what do you say, microscope and telescope and discovering there is another planet or star or a new particle. They discovered Higgs boson. You know? So you're like, why is it doing that? So people are digging in, deep seek is happening, search is happening, all of that stuff. Yeah, same human body. Okay, your human body, my human body, but human body. We have a human economy. We're all on the same planet Earth. Yeah. Can you imagine Earth, who created us humans? How intelligent must it be? And the universe that supports Earth and has been supporting Earth's formation and then further our formation. How intelligent must that be? Yeah. So what all is being watched for? Humans are saying we're all on the same planet, not yet a multi-planetary species. How intelligent must the universe be to make sure this intelligent creature is not causing trouble? Because there used to be the great unconformity, Big Bang, yeah, because humans must have caused trouble. Yeah. So to have a life-sustaining, life and living species is like a microbiologist looking for a good strain, which is not going to cause trouble. They overrun and then no, which is then going to profitably. It's a whole lot of investments in several cycles, years of investment, yeah, on one planet Earth that has life. So life has a lot of potential, yeah. So to be life and living, sustaining, beautiful is like a dangerous creature, life kind of. So you want to go to moon, different kinds of places. Universe is watching, yeah. So how to live in such a way that you, people around you, future generations, universe, multiverse, what have you, they're all becoming better, requires a certain kind of technology. It's also called yoga, where you're bringing together the microcosm and the macrocosm. The microcosm is also the whole lot of microbes that your body is made up of, including the nervous system, which form from several kinds of virus. Yeah, it's like virus holding hands. It's just different kinds ish. Yeah, and then you have mitochondria, which is said to be bacteria, which is living together. Yeah, living relationship. Yeah, so different, and then coexisting. So there's said to be 12 strands of DNA that our bodies made up of. So there are 12 organisms, kind, living together. Yeah. And then our body is also said to form from 12 families. And we're talking about human families over civilizations. Yeah. So microorganisms and their families. So we have an ecosystem, walkie-talkie ecosystem. And we have a body that's human. We look different, but we are categorized amongst human beings. So apparently 99.9% we are humans, and that little difference is what we see outside as the variations. Yeah, we don't know how to maintain our human body healthy enough such that WHO's global list of diseases reduce. Okay, so imagine how much we don't know. Yeah, and I discovered the Shri Chakra, the Shri Yantra, the Kundalini. The Shri Chakra is the four-dimension representation of the one-dimensional Kundalini. Okay, and so we also have the idea of the string theory, one-dimensional. But we consider that a human being is like Ram Lala, a little human, homunculus, where it's not different parts put together, but it's one little keeping the whole together. It's like you say Krishna. But this is not the Krishna who runs off into battlefield to fight against the cousins. Yeah, that is why you need Arjuna and Krishna watching each other. Yeah, otherwise Krishna will run off into uh, battlefield. I will like conquer that also. These and these two. Yeah. So both needs a good nice. So you should have a good nice aim where you're headed towards. And Arjuna has a aim to the eye of the fish. You know, because he knew how to do that. And then the marriage happened. You know, Swayamvar marriage happened. But the feat is about what did he? And then I think he forgot about that. And then Krishna, yeah, said many things and then went off in that direction. You know, when he could do that. So we, as reading history, lots of mythological stories, can now see there is this, and they didn't see that. Yeah. So we can maintain Arjuna's focus while noticing Krishna and um, seven chariots or eight, so okay, seven horses, Suraj Katwa Goda, you know, kind of Konark temple. So, um, yeah, Krishna Atva Goda. Watch. Because Krishna is also the eighth child of Vasudeva and Devaki, you know. When I found Vasudeva Kutumbakam, is also humanity cross boundaries. Humanity cross boundaries in jail, and Devaki. Devaki is also, there is Deva Vakya, Devavani, Manushyavani, and Patalavani. Like heaven, kind of, okay. Divine talk, apparently, and human talk, and apparently hell talk or Asura talk. But no, it's more Devani is said to be like Hindi, yeah, um, kind. Then Manushyavani is every other languages. From that, I told there's a group of languages called um, Bhashya, Manusha. And then there is Prakritik. which is said to be Patalavani. Yeah. So I discovered Prakriti is also kind of like the snake. Yeah. Very closely related with earth and all that. There is listening and paying attention and scripting the life that we have. So the human body we have is a textbook already present. Everybody's born with it. So we're studying the same human body as an instrument of love. Yeah. Love heals wounds over time. And how we live our life from the same human body we have also determines the quality of life we have, which is the idea of the Shrigandha. So each of us are like root parasite, tiny, small root parasites. Shrigandha, sandalwood tree grows as a root parasite, takes the support of available, like blind in the soil, dark of the soil, you can hardly see, but you'll have to like a baby growing from mother's womb, kind of. Yeah, you can only feel, sense. You can see too, but what you can see is what you can see. You would see bloods, artery veins. They may all look like tree roots. Yeah, for a seed, and then with available information, पता नहीं कहाँ जा रहे जा रहे. Yeah, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. पता नहीं tunnel कहाँ है, but चल रहे. Yeah, and uh, so you have your senses. You can feel, and that's also called the art of faith. You grow not because you know everything, but then growth is the direction you move towards. Yeah, you do, because food and different kinds of resources are there. So clearly it's for growth. Yeah, we have such an infrastructure on earth. So clearly it is to grow. Yeah, you may not know why, but when you're doing the right things show up. And there are people also studying from planets and stars and galaxies and signs of life and all that. And I discovered human beings are designed to live in life in the multiverse. A child is born, is taken care of, mother 9 months. What are you talking about? Yeah. Form the human body from father's material, mother nurtures, otherwise, won't be alive. If there is no care and nurture, it won't be alive. So we are walkie talkie cares. Yeah. Care embodied. So when you're sitting in your car or you sit in a taxi, remember that that car was formed from an idea called care. Yeah, if you're not going to look at a car the same way, I would still be, yeah. When you look at your own body, you have four wheels, two hands, two legs, yeah, and you have a bum to sit on the car, driver's seat of your car, yeah. You got a head called common sense, so you can see things. So your body is kind of like a car, kind of, yeah, no. And you also have windshield. You got to clean the windshield. Otherwise, common sense or past-based experiences could mar what you're seeing. And then you could be living doomsday. Yeah. So brush your teeth, clean your eyes, and have your listening, your sense and sensibilities all clean. That will help you continue to live a beautiful life and safe. And notice how different people are seeing and noticing and appreciating. You can feel. Nazar, they even say nazar. But then it's also somebody looking at you, like a particle, a photon. How does it know? Well, a photon is also like a little orb of light, kind of. How does it know that somebody looking at you and looking at it and the double slit lamp exact? Yeah, I don't know about that, but photon. Photon must be knowing something. Maybe a particle representation of what happens. Do you have your sense and sensibilities about you? Yeah, so you can feel it. Yeah, nazar also they say. So if you don't regularly clean, dust also could come and sit on your body. Nazar is also how somebody looks at you. And you'll get cookied into this is who you are. People look at you in different ways. And if you continue to just function like how people look at you, you're going to be how people look at you versus that's not how things happen because you're a more complex organism. When you eat better, all of these different impressions also get digested. When you are, there's also this idea of CCTV camera. God is said to be like CCTV camera. Yeah. Omniscient, omnipresent. You don't know from where God is looking. And then there's also karma benefits. So surround sound camera, sound, yeah. So there's this movie called Truman Show. But okay, the thing is, um, what you're doing is also being watched by several by an intelligent design on Earth. Yeah, all life, universe. So what is happening here is also being watched by several corners. So when you're doing the right thing, when you're doing the true thing, maturing care to love to true love, things keep getting better. And Earth also is a for-profit enterprise because life is got a lot of potential. Yeah, but got to grow well. There have been several models of Earth before our Earth could form, and on which we are talking, doing stuff. Yeah, on Valentine's Day, when we are paying attention to our body as a beautiful creature, yeah, creation born out of care and lots of family trees working to form one human creature. You know, the body that you have didn't form overnight. You're listening to me because we are all on the same planet, thankfully. You're all watching for hours. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam forming. Yeah? Because masculine, feminine, both are there in the rib cage. Yeah, like Hanuman and Ram and Sita. Vasudeva and Vasudeva and Devaki. Yeah, Devaki is also higher energy, divinity is also one way to look at it. So we have the divine within us and also the humanity cross boundaries. Yeah. So the idea of Tripura Sundari is the idea of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, kind of like creator, preserver, destroyer. Now that creator, preserver, destroyer is not necessarily male or female. Yeah. These are like anabolism, metabolism, catabolism. When the metabolism of a body, ajine bhojanam visham, if the digestion is not complete, there could be toxicity. And then you could also have doomsday thought lines because your imaginations is having a lot of you have a dearth of imagination, as healthy as it could needs to be. When digestion is complete, and Mighty has a absolute cycle called no buy, reduce, reuse, recycle, reduce, reuse, no buy, reduce, reuse, um, recycle. How did I miss that? No waste, absolute. No buy, reduce, reuse, recycle, no waste, absolute. So completely digested. And how this shows up is, of course, I buy from the grocery store. But then what happens with this stuff? After use, how do I digest stuff in my body such that what's coming out of my body is also medicine for earth? That depends on the choices I make. So if I'm going to eat junk, it's going to affect my different systems. And then my body is going to digest it and then let out, which may not be so very good for earth. And it's not just about letting out, how my breath sounds, what's the sounds I make, what kind of thought lines I have, what kind of creatives I make, they all get affected. Yeah. What you put into the production unit is also going to show up in what comes out. Yeah. So what goes around comes around. So what goes around comes around in our different creatives and how we do things and how we live. So it's a Shrishti optimization happens in this production unit. The quality of life we have, the kind of math we have, how sustainable, how we live. I've come to a math of faith. And there's also Jai Parvati Vata. There's also how you mature cares to love, to true love. And then you're living a truthful life. So Vishuddha, you see, yeah? So it's not just about here. Nilakanta is not only here. That's also because of how much of truth you can say when your whole body is kind of maintained Tattva Shuddhi and Vishachikitsa and healthier metabolism, Ajina Bhojanamasham, when you can pay attention to your bodily functions in such a way that metabolism is complete. And there is two kinds of metabolism: light and dark. Light photon, dark photon, good cell, bad cell, her, sun, moon, or visible, invisible, Shiva, Rudra, um, Sati Kali, or let's just say Sandhya Chaya. Yeah. So light, dark, Sukha, Dukha. Yeah. So there's two kinds of metabolism at least. Let's just say complementary opposite. Yeah. Visible, invisible. Yeah. Complementary opposites. Masculine, feminine. Yeah. Mother material, father material. So, moving history and her story forward for the better, history and her story forward for the better, also begins with how you metabolize your life. I mean, your production unit system, how metabolism happens, creation, preservation, destruction. Yeah. So, anabolism, metabolism, catabolism, and I call it elisabolism. You're going to metabolize and you're going to improve it. Yeah. Like Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth. Yeah. Improve it. So, there is respect, honor, dignity, and also better love. Care matures to love, matures to true love, Elisabolism. And when that happens, you're ennobling from crude to ennobled. You're becoming a humane being regularly. That's how you go 0 to 9, and then you have 10, and then 10 to 19, and then you have 20. The same set of, hmm, let's include the 10 also as a number. Then you have Ekadashi. 0 to 9, and then 10, you have Ekadashi. And then this 0 is also the first starting point for the next. So it's a different form of music. You have music, you have octaves, 7 and 8 is there. And then 8 is the first note for the next. Yeah. Here it is 0 to 9 and then 10. And then 10 to 9, 19 and then 20. So Sri Vidya has 9 avarnams. Okay. Um, and then you have, uh, so similar calculations. Yeah. Sri Vidya has 9 avarnams. I'm having mighty conscience. And it's got 9 also. I found Sri Vidya is there inside Mighty Conscience. I discovered Sri Vidya from inside Mighty Conscience. So this is mother of Sri Vidya. Mm. Chakra. Sri Chakra is talking about round, round. And the Sri Chakra, you see triangles. So I discovered they're not really talking about the Sri Chakra. I mean, that Sri Chakra is standing on another structure. So this is like the tip of the iceberg. Only you have the Sri Chakra as a framework. Yeah. It's not, so you can call it iceberg, you can talk it as a mountain top. You got a lot more. Then I discovered there are so many circles, and that's what they're calling a Sri Chakra. Like the pyramid, it has like this. Then I discovered there's also like this. Yeah. Beneath the pyramid, there is another hole. Okay, it's also called Kailasa. But only this Kailasa is round. Okay. Sri Chakra has 4 gateways, but the gateways are inside a circle. And that's like the first circle of sacred geometry. You know? But frog in the well is also talking about there is one at the bottom of the cup there is water. Yeah. Like frog in the well. And from here, well has several circles. If you've gone to Kerala, I'm having a reference from Kerala only. Yeah. Well. So if you're going to see 0 to infinite, got lots of numbers, sets of it. Yeah. So like stairwell, there's you walk, you come to a landing. You walk, you come to a landing. So there's lots of possibility, which is what Vedic mathematics is talking about. And if you're going to digest the content and regularly encryption also, yeah, such that your DNA has a lot of capacity. When you're regularly removing effects from heavy metals, big gurus, and all kind. Okay, we got Jupiter, also got Guru, but it's also gas ball, but it's also protecting. The thing is, we got gurus. We got lots of people. I got one baby, like me, child of life. Everybody's talking about many kinds of things. They're all talking good things. Yeah, well wishers, lots of advices, everything. Teachers, schools, lot of teaching. But if we don't know to digest information, we will go into overwhelm. So, how then do you digest the information and have such live life such that you're not having a Ajirne Bhojanam Visham? Yeah. So you're not having toxic positivity or toxic negativity, but healthier imagination, healthy creatives, says that you're not getting lost in the whole scheme of things. Yeah, to find your placement in the whole scheme of things. It's also called niche clarity. You have your own place in the whole scheme of things, like your 2 feet on earth. Yeah, it's also a niche. And then digest stuff so that you're doing well, like Sri Chakra, like Sri Gandha, like a sandalwood tree, taking the support of all that there is, making something, and then returning to everything something better. Yeah, take from everything. Yeah, they're all giving. And then digest it, make something, like from your production unit and from the life, the resources that you have, and then return to everything something better. That is also how we continue to maintain the light and the benefit of light, having a life, is how you make everything better. Hmm? So there's a how to of it. Nirbeeja yoga is how to improve cares to, if you don't care about anything, how to have care because your body's already having thing. But if you don't care about it, I can't care about that and that, you may just be dealing with a lot of overwhelm or unprocessed information which needs to first be digested before you can begin to care again. So that's like if your stomach is all full, of course you don't want to eat more food. Yeah. You're like full to the top. Like the pot is so full, even if they teach you, nothing is going inside because you've got to first digest what is already there inside. You've got to finish what's on your plate before you can take more. As simple as that. Yeah. So a lot of us may be dealing with container capacities. Yeah. A container may be so full. So contact me. If you would like to improve your cares or your ability to care or have care or care about what you would, people expect you to care about, what you would like to care about, like your life, like your health, like your wealth, like your wisdom, like your what have you. We're all on the same planet Earth. About the planets, stars, galaxies, about the multiverse, about the way we got the whole play field. Yeah, we got so much space. It's like it's a playground. I'm thinking human beings are born to have fun. Yeah. And I'm saying, come, let's play. Yeah, we could fill with space. So this is my message to the universe, and each person is sitting in our own universes. Yeah, from the body we have. The life we have is from the body we have. Yeah. Ghosts don't have the body benefit. Yeah. So what we can do is when we are living healthier naturally, visible and invisible also have new ideas. Yeah, I can do that. When I'm born, I can do that too. So babies who are not yet born are also listening to us. So when we are talking nice things, they be like, I would like to do that. I'm going to be in that field, that thing, and then you're going to, I'm making school, I'm making course. So this webinar, kind of, this is also going to go as a recording in one of the um, courses, like a list of it, so you can go through it. And so I'm making content, how to have Nirbeeja, basics, Nirbeeja yoga, and then there is Dharmapada for soul satisfaction. Then there is mythology, like mythology, my story, but it's Dashavatara, Dashami cycles of development. How then to become a humane being. Shanti Parva, they say. Otherwise, you'll become people with weapons. Yeah. Also, like sickle cell anemia, different kinds of weapons. And then how do you metabolize when you have different kinds of weapons or um, digested and digested content that then have different physiological interactive benefit manifestations, yeah, behavior patterns, Dashavatara and Dashami. So why do we have different kinds of humans? Because of the quality of metabolism we have. And different people are in different stages of development. Once there is this understanding of why people behave the way they do, why do you behave the way you do, then humanity cross boundaries becomes more possible. And we all have a rib cage. But the rib cage doesn't have to be a prison. It can be the place where, like a treasure house. Yeah. You need a treasure house to protect what is important. Yeah. So it's just doing the work of allowing you to breathe healthy and naturally so you could feel the boundaries. Otherwise, you could be infinite, which is why we have a tissue body to be able to feel and improve the container and become like Sri Chakra. You have lots of information. Koot koot ke bhara hai. And then in one body, lots of information. So it's like like the ladder. DNA is like looking like a ladder. There's a ladder theory, who's a friend, who's a foe. But we also have uplines and downlines. People who came before us could also be gurus. Yeah, people who came after before us and people who came after us, like after the date of birth that I was born, and people who were born before my date of birth. So when this ladder is doing well, people who came before our date of birth and people who came after our date of birth also do well. That's how we fall in line. Yeah, and fall in line in such a way that when we are doing well, we, people around us, future generations, their generations also do well. Yeah, like Earth. Family members, Earth, one ball has life, while we have other balls in the same solar system family. Yeah, and all figuring out how to have life, how to all do well. So, me making content here and then putting up content on the course on learn. Okay, I have a link on the channel profile learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. Learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. Yeah, you can actually just say my website, which is www.dynamicstillnesses.com. Um, the school is okay. So I got to, I'm still streamlining stuff for the online infrastructure, but we have these services. So do join and let's make life on Earth. It's also called the Golden Age. But then we have the sunlight. Okay, that's also called Surya Namaskar. When you're maintaining the life inside you, light all beautiful, then you affect earth, water, fire, ice, spirit, space around you. Like Sri Gandha takes the support of different trees and plants. Milia dubia is a tree that has a stronger heartwood, has a strong heartwood, and then taking the support of others like mahogany, like teak wood, like many other neem, many other trees, they also grow, and the life that those trees support, they also grow. Yeah, so different kinds of humans. So we're all like oddballs in the same family, but everybody do well. This is how in living life in the multiverse becomes possible. Yeah. So do join, do invest, and learn what I'm talking about, making available from the idea of the Sri Chakra. You got lots of triangles, so lots of work to do, lots of studies to do, language to improve. If you can understand what I'm saying, I'm speaking from the universal language of love. Yeah, I call it mice. So there are different thought lines which then gives my language its beauty. So it may seem like you're saying something I like, but I don't know how you're saying it. So I have a language by which I keep thinking about it, work from it. So it becomes easier for you to have, this is a secret within the secret. Yeah, or how to have a beautiful life. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me on this Valentine's Day. I hope you restore your beauty to the one life partner you're born with. Yeah, your body. And then I discovered the heart is two halves of this of a same whole. You already are alive because you are with your complementary partners. The people with whom maintain, it's like a galaxy has a black hole, has many stars. A galaxy is not only just a black hole. Yeah. Also a set of stars, constellation, like a chapter, like BNI or different business networking groups. There are chapters. So a person, no matter who you are, when you're born, you have a chapter of people. Yeah. Tribe of people. And you go about finding your tribe. You know? So by what I'm calling as mighty conscience, it becomes easier for you to identify your tribe. Just for information or spoil sport, I don't know which is the case. The life you already have, already you're alive because your chapter is alive. So try and make note of people in your life that you like, don't like. People in your life, they are different kinds of complementary partners. You're alive because of what is working, what is not working, what's there to be done, what several details. Yeah. If you're just going to write down and make a list of people in your life that you like, don't like, different kinds, who in some way influence you or you influence them. Yeah. You're in some way more in touch with your tribe, your chapter, people, and then how you live life, how you maintain your relationships with them, how you talk with them. Has their life become better? Your life become better? Relationships, as it's getting better, you have a fuller life. You like the Tawari, dandelion, like round, all connected. Or Mema Sarani, there's this plant flower called Mema Sarani, connected all ball. See, like Earth connected different places. Vastu Shastra will talk about how Earth is related with, it's called Grihanatha. Yeah, related with all kinds of people. All the planets all affect the same Earth. So, are you the master of your own life? You're live, you have your life, and you are influenced by others. So, are you so influenced that you don't know which is yours and which is other than yours? Yeah, which is a good Sat and Yam, which is the truth versus other than that. And other than that need not be false. It is just other than you have known and you have unknown. Yeah. So to speak. Sat is also that which is kind of more together integrated, kind of a little order. And then there is chaos, so to speak. Chaos, where chaos is unknown order. Yeah. So that way your anxiety and all that stuff becomes a little less. Hopefully this brings about that effect in your life. Um, uh, Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been of value to you and have a lovely life. It's always a happy good morning. Yeah. When you're having the sunny side up or you're doing Nirbeeja yoga. Yeah. It's just, you learn to maintain the sunny side of life, the light on and, yeah. So live on. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been of value to you. Good day.